And we are back with a new draft league. This one is the Smogon Draft Kickoff, the very first draft league of Gen 9 hosted by Smogon. This has over 1,000 entrants, and with that, there's not enough Pokemon, so of course, we're all divided into drafting pools. And as you can see, I'm right here. I'm everybody with the Chien Pao team, and this is my drafting pool. So some background first. Since I'm doing a recap of this, it's a really old league, over 7 months old actually. I wish I could have recapped this sooner, but because of that, most of my builds are kind of gone. I don't know what happened to it. I tried to salvage them, but it was hopeless at that point. So I'm gonna do a very rushed version of this draft recap. So this entire league recap is gonna be in this one video. So yeah, as you can see, I have the Chien Pao. I've never used Chien Pao yet, even though it's been 1 month of Scarlet and Violet, and I kept hearing it's broken, it's broken. I never got to use it yet. I actually joined this because I wanted to draft Annihilate, but since I was first in my drafting pool, and I picked Annihilate, and my draft buddy Orange, he was saying, that's a throw, you have to go for Chien Pao. So that's what I did. And surprisingly, Annihilate didn't get sniped from me, so I still got to pick Annihilate. I still got to take back my choice, and then just pick it again when it came back to my turn. Other stuff you'll see is the double iron combo. Apparently my first core is a pretty popular core. I've been seeing a few of those in other people's drafts. Halucha is a bit unorthodox, because Defog Mold Breaker was hot at the time. I honestly just wanted it because I could do Unburden Mirror Herb and then Encore. That was kind of the whole reason I did that. Appleton is my budget Chi-Yu and Palafin check. Yes, I know, but lots of people didn't agree with me on that, but I feel like it'll get the job done with taking the fire and water moves that my team desperately lacks. And Klefki, nice little Gloomon. I needed a fairy type after all. Bruxish is also a very sus pick. I did want a water type to tank the water and fire moves, but Bruxish isn't going to be doing any tanking. So at least it resists, so maybe it can take one. Fun fact, out of all the 1,000+ people in the draft, there was only 2 people that drafted Bruxish. So yeah, you're looking at one of the only 2 Bruxish drafts. So this is going to be an entire draft recap in one video. And why am I doing it? I thought it was interesting. I had a pretty decent run actually. As you can see, let me show you right now. My score, I went 4-0 with a differential of 16, which is pretty good. I can go over some of the battles real quick with you, just highlight some of the things. So first would be my first time using Terra Dark, Choice Band Chien Pao. Yes, in this draft league, you get 1 Terra Captain with free Terra. But honestly, Terra Dark Choice Band Crunch is all you need, right? That's why it's so broken. So this is my first game. And another fun fact, this was the very first Smogon draft battle ever. Yeah, as Perthwax said right there. Even if you look in the forums, in the backlogs, I was the first person to submit, so this is definitely the first draft battle of Gen 9. The very first. That's me, I did it. And as you can see, even with Intimidate, the choice band Terra Dark Crunch 2-hit KOs Arcanine. So my Annihilate bulks up here. I thought of the bulk up taunt set first. I don't care what anyone else says. I've been using that day one. But sadly, the Corviknight was bulk up too, so it didn't stand a chance. Or maybe I could have played that better. But as you can see, I went undefeated in my pools. Basically, for this match, Chen Pao always claimed the kill whenever it came in. I did risk the Hawlucha setting up, but thankfully my Hawlucha was max speed. I think my opponent could have had max speed Hawlucha, but either way, I had Choice Band Ice Shard to take care of it later, so it honestly didn't matter. So after that, yep, Adamant Quark Drive Treads just cleans. So in this next draft, you see the Bruxish come out. But if anything interesting happened with that Bruxish, not really. It never came out. It was just there in team preview looking scary. Anything notable of this match? There's a low kicks here, but Annihilate sits on low kicks really badly. So now Annihilate just 6-0s him. That's what I love about Annihilate. You can just sit on physical attackers and then become unwallable after a boost. And now, since all of his attackers are not gonna one-hit KO me, it's kind of raps. I had one of the higher differentials coming out of the pools, so that gave me a really good chance at a high seeding. So next up is this draft. Interestingly enough, my Qian Pao over here was Terra Grass with some defensive investment, actually. This guy's draft, he had a Pincurchin, so I tried to make it so that substitute lives the discharge, the Thunderbolt. But as you can see, Pincurchin isn't out. But Terra Grass is still pretty good because of Wo-Chin and Palafin. And another thing, I was playing and hoping that my opponent didn't know that Prankster doesn't affect dark types. So that's why I was like holding back my Terra. I was hoping that I'd get a free turn with a wasted Prankster on a dark type. But it seems that he wasn't giving it, so yeah. But what Qian Pao behind a sub? It's not pretty. It's not pretty. I can see why this thing was banned, you know? Back then, I think only Annihilate was banned during the middle of the drafting process back in the OU setting. So Qian Pao is still running around, and dang, this thing is crazy. This is my first time using it, mind you. And lastly, this was the only opponent that gave me a hard time. No shade to the other opponents. I mean, differential-wise, this one was a more close fight. You'll see that the Iron Thorns was pretty scary, and even the Gengar was very hard to switch into. So I had to be very careful around those things. And you can see this was a hazard battle until the defog comes out. Oh yeah, another funny thing, I've seen lots of people drafting Hariyama in this league. He, with his thick fat ability, he serves as a budget check to Qian Pao and Chiyu, which I thought is pretty cool. Of course, they both have psychic coverage, but finally, yes, I take out the Corviknight thanks to Taunt. Always have Taunt or Encore in your team. That's what I say. Alright. And with that, that was it. I made it out of pools. And because of the large number of people, the bracket phase, some people will have a bye if you're seated high enough. And thankfully, I was seeded high enough. So I get a bye in the first round of the bracket phase. Well, I like to call it playoffs because it's playoffs is a bracket, right? So I technically made it to the playoffs. But yeah, so round 2 of the playoffs, I am fighting this Palafin draft. Now I checked to see how he played. Yeah, there's a bunch of setup sweepers. It could be mindless screens. So I have Mirror Herb Halucha just to do what I mentioned in the beginning. And I also noticed how he handled a previous Iron Moth Qianpao draft. He had Protect Rotom. So that's what I was thinking. I'm like, it's gonna be Protect Lefty's Rotom. And this was the first big lesson of Gen 9 for me. So obviously that didn't go well. I thought he would start setting up screens. He just starts attacking. This was my first big lesson. I send out Appleton. He Terra Waters and Flip Turns. I checked for the damage with a calculator, and I learned that, oh, it's not banded. All right then. Oh yeah, but I did notice when it was not banded. Did notice the flip turn was awfully weak. I'm like, huh? Why was the flip turn super weak? Even without a band, it was doing less damage than the calculator was saying. So maybe it was like no attack EVs or something. That's what was going on in my head. So now Iron Treads comes out, and that is the perfect time for Annihilate to start setting up. I could spin block it, which was what I was hoping it would do. But it just sets up rocks. That's totally fine. I still get a free turn of bulk up. And this is Protect Leftovers Rotom, right? So I bulk up here. And yeah, the Will-O-Wisp kind of messed me up. Yeah. That was really bad. I EV'd my Annihilate to always outspeed the Rotom. But, because I thought it would be Protect Will-O-Wisp. But it's Scarf Will-O-Wisp. And that messed me up. Like, what? But you brought Protect Leftovers on a similar matchup. But I guess, yes, this guy's really good. He doesn't bring the same tricks twice. Now here, I'm like, well, it's locked into Scarf Will-O-Wisp. I can continue stacking some buffs. And then Palafin comes out. I run the calculator. And Wave Crash, non-banded, doesn't do a lot to me at all. I'm like, oh, well, this should be easy. I can just farm more defense boost and then heal it off with Drain Punch. But this is where I was wrong. Watch this. I was like, well, Wave Crash should only do about half. It does 65. I thought it would do even less than half, actually. Maybe 40 or something. But it did 65. I'm like, wait, was that a crit? It was not a crit. So then I checked back the calculator. And I learned that I was calcing the wrong form. I was calcing the non-hero form. Or the baby form. That's why it was doing so little damage. That's why I thought it didn't have choice ban. So because of that, my win condition is gone. My Annihilate was I was kind of going for a Hail Mary Annihilate sweep here. Because I know Qianpao can't cut it, he's gonna give Cloyster a free turn to Shell Smash. And plus, he has Jet Punch to stop Qianpao. So my win condition is dead. And now I'm just scrambling for a new win condition. But the Salamence starts getting crazy and reducing my number of sacks, so I can't really play the sack war with a banded Qianpao. Or not banded, I was sub. Yeah, see, I was sub because I was hoping it was Protect Will-O-Wisp Man, that was so sad. All that research, checking his previous matches just to get swindled like that. I was really banking on it not being Scarf, because he didn't bring Scarf on the last Chan Pao battle he had. But dang. Yeah. I tried to go for a Haxi win, but it wasn't there. So yeah, I finished the league like that. Kind of messed up. Now I learned why Palafin was banned. That thing hits super hard. But yeah, um, that gave me a newfound hatred for Palafin. Ruined my 6-0. That was definitely gonna be an easy 6-0, even if I was burned. If I lived that wave crash or another bulk up and a drain punch, that was over. Just like that. But yeah, always calc for the right form when you're fighting Palafin. That is the lesson. And yeah, that's my draft run. I don't remember my placement, but I'll probably put that in the description because there was like over 900 or 1,000 people in this league. But I thought I did pretty good. I was doing really well in the pools, as you can see by that differential. Not much people in the other pools have such a differential. Yeah. The only one is... Yeah, the only one. Yeah. But that's it. Pretty decent run. Chan Pao is broken, now I know why. Sad Bruxish didn't do anything, it just appeared once as a cameo and that's it. Well, there's gonna be a new draft league in the next video. So this was just a short one. I wish I had the sets. The only spicy ones I could think of were the specific Annihilate EVs, the Terragrass sub Qian Pao, and maybe Iron Treads. And Appleton had some interesting sets. Halucha had some dumb stuff, but yeah, I don't know why my builds were gone. Oh well then, till next time.